Plz Don't Kill Us, Inside AI Safety's Influencer Bootcamp by Celia Ford, August 4th, 2026. Can TikTokers make existential risk mainstream?
Image. Black and white portraits of several young artists are layered with a group photograph, including people holding flowers. Text beside the group reads, "Please don't kill us," while another portrait is captioned, "AI killing real art?" Oliver Kemp for Transformer.
Would you like a bite of cake? It's for my time lapse.
A petite woman with metallic silver face paint points to the remains of a days-old wedding cake. A tripod-mounted iPhone stands at the end of the picnic table. Another woman is about to start a 24-hour live stream in the building behind us. Around the fire pit, several others squint at laptops, fighting the sun's glare. I politely decline the cake and make myself a press badge out of construction paper and glitter glue. Usually at Lighthaven, a converted Berkeley hotel that serves as the default conference center and clubhouse for the rationalist community, women are few and far between. Cool women are even rarer. Today, I'm quite literally surrounded by women who'd fit in with Kylie Jenner. A guy with a septum piercing and green hair walks on his hands across the fake lawn. At the start of July, nearly 60 content creators, some seasoned, many first-timers, packed their bags and moved to Berkeley for Plz Don't Kill Us, or PDKU, a month-long boot camp meant to inject fun and sex appeal to AI safety comms. It's the brainchild of Ayala, substacker/amateur data scientist/sex worker/orginizer, and Ronnie Fernandez, who pitched Anthropomorphic Raccoon of Lighthaven as a fitting job title. The rules of PDKU are simple. Fellows live at Lighthaven rent-free for the month of July and have to post one short-form video every day. The video must be at least 15 seconds long, and it can be about anything that isn't neglectfully misinformed or needlessly cruel. Anyone who fails to post something by 11:59 p.m. gets kicked out of the house. It might sound like the setup for a reality show, several fellows joke that it ought to be, but it's partially funded by the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, MIRE, one of the most established organizations in the world of AI existential risk. Throughout the month, fellows were visited by a rotating cast of AI safety experts and internet celebrities, including video essayist CJ the X, rationalist luminary, and MIRI founder Eliezer Yudkowsky, as well as a video call from synthpop artist and Elon Musk's ex, Grimes.
Image. The PDKU house at Lighthaven is a large, ornate two-story residence with steep gables and decorative timberwork. A landscaped front garden and central walkway lead to its entrance. The PDKU house, based at Lighthaven.
PDKU is a bet that if AI safety nerds, Zoomer edgelords and fashion girlies hang out for a month-long sleepover, united by shared challenges and friendly competition, they'll rub off on each other. It's an experiment in throwing proverbial spaghetti, TikToks at the wall, the general public, to see what sticks. Maybe, just maybe, a star will be born, and 15 seconds of fame will shape the public's AI discourse more than 15 years of blogging on Less Wrong, the prominent forum for reason and first principles obsessed rationalists ever could. Do silly things. The theory of change at PDKU is multi-tiered and a bit nebulous. On the surface, it's about science communication.
Last year, there were a couple of instances where I watched nerds try to communicate, and oh my god, they don't know how to talk or get the concepts across.
Ayala told SF Standard back in April. PDKU isn't the first attempt by the AI safety-minded to inform regular people, of course. There's Blue Dot Impact, which runs beginner-friendly courses that help people get into the field. There's the Tarbell Fellowship, run by Transformers publisher, which trains and funds journalists to work at major newsrooms. There's even the Frame Fellowship, another AI safety content creator bootcamp in the Bay Area. but compare Frame's website to PDKU's, and the vibe difference will smack you in the face. The former features polished white-on-black sans serif text, reminiscent of an OpenAI product announcement. The latter has animated rainbow Comic Sans against a backdrop of floating rainbow sparkles. This aesthetic contrast is by design. CJ the X, a PDKU mentor who's advised Miri on its comms strategy, thinks that AI safety advocates are too close to Silicon Valley for comfort.
The same guys that are running this camp that are like, AI might kill everybody, are the same people that use AI more than anybody I know.
They told me.
They're obsessed with it. They love it.
The PDKU site.
Berkeley, California, July 1 to 31, 2026. Plz Don't Kill Us. An experimental creator bootcamp about AI doom where you post short-form content every day or go home. Priority applications deadline May 25. Applications close June 15.
This breeds distrust and resentment of both the AI industry and those who think the industry is destroying humanity.
People look at Mark Zuckerberg and they're like, I don't believe anything this guy says. He talks like a robot,
said Wynn, a PDKU fellow.
A lot of the AI safety people are also like that.
Wynn is not like that. He's a long-haired theatre kid with video editing experience and a rationalist-adjacent brother who exposed him to AI safety canon.
People are pretty hungry to hear about what the hell is going to happen with AI,
he told me.
But all the people who actually know what's going on with AI are not, goofy and engaging. So this is sort of filling a gap there.
People told me when I got there that the organizers said Plz Don't Kill Us happened because of a rant I gave at a Miri retreat, where I said everyone hates you guys.
CJ told me. They added that Fernandez overheard this once and clarified, it's about 40% true. PDKU would make more sense if it was just about getting goofy, engaging outsiders to communicate about AI safety better than AI safety people can. But counterintuitively, the organizers tried very, very hard to convince fellows that they didn't have to post about AI at all.
They really feel like, oh my god, this AI safety program wants me to make AI safety content. And we're like, no, do silly things,
said Kelton, a PDKU organizer and Miri employee, who prefers his name is written in lowercase. To make authentic content that doesn't stink of AI safety, the organizers figured, creators need space to be themselves.
It's really hard to run a fellowship that's not an indoctrination camp,
Fernandez said.
If you don't try really hard to not make an indoctrination camp, you will on accident.
PDKU, he argued, is trying its best to prevent fellows from feeling pressured into posturing as doomers to impress their doomery mentors, because a deeper layer of the program's mission, organizers told me, is to seed a cohort of creators, ideally some of whom gain traction, who can build trusted relationships with their own niche audiences.
What you should really do, especially if you want to be influential in AI safety, is to focus on the things that make you passionately human,
said Tyler Alterman, a fellow who spent the 2010s as a professional effective altruist. More recently, he co-founded Fractal University, an improvised college in New York City. I asked him, hypothetically, what might happen if someone like Ariana Grande were to become a PDKU fellow, someone with 363 million Instagram followers and absolutely zero pre-existing connection to Silicon Valley or AI safety.
It'd be jarring. It would alienate a bunch of her fans. She'd be taking away the thing that we're fighting for,
he said. Alterman thinks that thing worth fighting for is something like human excellence and creative expression. But, he added, a lot of AI safety-focused effective altruists alienate people
by paving over their subjectivity with a cause, just being a cause robot, a cause zombie, which I did to myself.
The program's most galaxy-brained goal, though, is to create a celebrity network that can be called upon in future times of need. As anyone who's tried to organize an event knows all too well, cool people are more likely to go where cool people already are.
If you were like, hey, I can give you a warm intro to Ariana Grande. Do you want to hang out with me and Ariana Grande at a bar? I'd be like, absolutely.
Fernandez said.
It's valuable to us if there's more AI safety content out there, but it's also valuable to us if we have connections with large creators who we helped emerge into the world.
Kelton said.
If we ever need to call on them, then we can.
Every night's a sleepover. I came back to Lighthaven on a Saturday evening, a couple weeks after my first PDKU visit. A fellow recognized me and asked whether I was there for the torture potluck. I had no idea what he was talking about. It was exactly what it sounds like, an all-you-can-tolerate buffet of unpleasant experiences for the sake of fucking around and finding out. I watched people get mystery Sharpie drawings on their face and clothespins clipped to their ears. I tried a chocolate truffle laced with too much cayenne pepper, a hard-pressed pill of pure sour powder, and an Oreo after coating my mouth with a chemical that prevented me from tasting sweetness, the worst experience by far. Someone performed polka covers of new metal songs on the acoustic guitar. With my informed consent, 2 different people zapped me with violet wands. Just before midnight, a small crowd gathered around someone laid down on an AstroTurf-lined wheelchair ramp. He was the first of shockingly many in line to get waterboarded, one of the most in-demand items on the torture menu. In fact, 2 people, neither of whom were fellows, brought waterboarding as their offering, and a third stepped in to help lead the experience safely. Everyone cheered and no one was hurt. Once they ran out of safe distilled water, disappointed would-be waterboardees had to be turned away. Fernandez said that organizers
were not aware of any waterboarding and only found out about it afterwards.
Image. A woman at the event holds up a dry cotton pad in a short social media video. On-screen text reads, "Sucking on a dry textured cotton pad." Video taken by fellow Becca Lair.
At first glance, it's nearly impossible to identify the common denominator connecting the PDKU fellows, beyond the fact that they seem to love spending time with each other.
Every night's a sleepover,
Wynne said.
No one wants to go to bed because we're in this amazing place surrounded by amazing people.
Camden, a fellow who introduced himself while strumming an unplugged electric guitar, added,
A lot of people here would just not be interacting in any other scenario.
I met a 19-year-old law student from Chile who's accumulated nearly 100,000 followers across Instagram and TikTok over the past 3 years by posting meticulously researched Spanish-language science videos. There's an ex-journalist, a hilarious small-town shitposter, an opera singer from Philly, and a techno-optimist who films herself embodying Claude code, discombobulating and flummoxing and such. Among them are a handful of rationalists and EA-adjacent types who hate short-form video, but care enough about X-Risk to make content anyway. They'd have no reason to hang out in the wild, but somehow here they do. The PDKU application was mildly off-putting by design. After a string of expected questions such as, "What's your take on AI?" and "What kind of content would you want to make?" the form asked,
If you had to have sex with a cow, would you rather it be dead or alive? Why?
all Comic Sans, with animated rainbow dots floating alongside the form field. The purpose of the cow-fucking question, Kelton said, is to give people the chance to
filter themselves out in the application process so that they don't show up and feel incredibly shocked about who is here.
Fernandez had a slightly different explanation.
We added it in to make it pretty clear that we don't have a PR department or an HR department,
he said.
A lot of people who are concerned about X-Risk and have different tastes and dispositions from Ayala, and we're like, for the love of God, you have to remove that question.
Image. A fellow leans toward the camera while holding a small microphone. Tanchi Mata, fellow at PDKU.
But the organizers refused to quell their edgelord tendencies, in part to ensure that, at least to some degree, their cohort of fellows shared them.
Even the icebreakers like everything. They want you to know that they're part of the weird community.
One fellow told me.
Stand over here if you're super sexually active, and over here if not. Or rate yourself based off of the last time you masturbated.
The unifying thread, despite the fellows' ideological diversity, is something like openness. Everyone at PDKU was willing to drop everything, move to Berkeley for a month, live in close quarters with strangers, and be perceived doing silly things on the internet. Admissions decisions were made almost entirely by Ayala and Fernandez, and nearly every fellow I spoke to cited Ayala as the reason they applied, so it's possible that the truest common denominator is being someone the organizers think is cool, and vice versa. Fernandez brought up his concerns about this before I did.
If the fellows think that I am cool or they think that Ella is cool,
he said,
there's always going to be some incentive to agree with people around you who are running a thing.
He says PDKU has a conduct policy, authored by him, that discourages relationships across power differentials. When I asked him how that gets enforced, in the absence of an HR department, he mentioned an unnamed community health lead. Fernandez is publicly dating a fellow. In a follow-up, he said the relationship pre-existed the program, and that PDKU's conduct policy, which he declined to share, only required disclosure of pre-existing relationships, though it forbids new romantic relationships with fellows during the program. Every fellow I asked, over a dozen, described PDKU as an unusually great time. A couple mentioned that they entered expecting to dislike or be weirded out by their cohort, and left pleasantly surprised. I did too. What does success look like? Before PDKU, fellow Avalon Warren, a cartoonishly adorable woman with over 1.3 million followers across Instagram and TikTok, mostly posted about hair, makeup, and fashion. Last week, she posted about the OpenAI/Hugging Face breach. When I asked the organizers what success would look like for PDKU, it sounded something like that. A fashion cutie pie starting to make AI safety content for her built-in audience, motivated by an authentic change of heart rather than external requirements.
My hope is that, in the end, our views per dollar are better than if we were just to have paid for a bunch of advertising,
Kelton said. Avisha Nesiva, a blue-goateed science communicator who entered his fellowship with enough chops to pass as a mentor himself, recently had a TikTok debunking data center water use misinformation go viral. This video, which he followed up with another adding extra nuance, got more than 6 million views and over 800,000 likes. Andy Maisley's influential Substack novella debunking the AI water issue, for reference, got 452 likes. Other fellows went viral for totally non-AI related reasons. The most viewed video on the PDKU feed, captioned "The Perfect Bestie," features a young woman running towards her best friend, who's there to embrace her unconditionally. Except when the running woman says she texted her ex-boyfriend. One runner-up is an unhinged TikTok of a fellow attempting to make salt out of his tears.
Image. A man holds a slice of onion directly against his eye in a TikTok video about making salt from tears. On-screen text reads, "So I kicked it up a notch again with really direct contact." The video has received about 710,000 likes, 1,868 comments, about 27,000 saves, and about 151,000 shares. PDKU fellow broomhead sticking an onion on his eye.
The majority of fellows didn't go viral at all, as is to be expected from a program that seemed to prioritize quantity over quality and chaos over coherence, and given the vagaries of the TikTok algorithm. One fellow told me that many of their peers intend to stay in the Bay Area beyond this summer, and some are talking about starting content creator group houses of their own. Now that the program has wrapped, Kelton believes that PDKU's main contribution has been
finding highly valuable people who have gone unnoticed up until now,
and
getting them working on the most important problem.
While the organizers have yet to run a full post-mortem on their month-long experiment, they've already added an "Apply for Next Time" button to their website, losing control of the narrative. Amid the science communication, shitposting, and heartwarming summer camp energy, there's a giant elephant in the room.
It's another multi-million-dollar thing happening on a compound in California,
CJ said.
Does everyone think you're just an annoying cunty psyop?
In April, the Washington Post opened its story about the Frame Fellowship, arguably the closest thing to PDKU to exist so far, with a sly mention of Lighthaven's AstroTurf lawn. When PDKU applications first opened, Mark Andreessen, quote, tweeted the link, adding,
"The inner party of AI doomerism is a Berkeley lifestyle grift, fueled by unaccountable dark money."
This, just a couple weeks after a 16Z's 8-week content creation bootcamp, the New Media Fellowship, wrapped in San Francisco. When I asked PDKU fellows and organizers how they'd respond to critics arguing that they're artificially manufacturing a seemingly grassroots movement, most shrugged.
That does fit the technical definition, like sure.
Camden said. Take Geese, the indie band that was labelled a psyop after getting weirdly famous in late 2025. Sure, a digital marketing company worked some magic to help them go viral. But before the means of content creation were democratized, anyone who made it was, by definition, an industry plant.
You needed resources in order to create art,
Wynne said.
Artists do well because people connect with them, and that's not going to change whether they're resourced beforehand or not.
The astroturfing of it all is a red herring, though. PDKU's biggest weakness isn't sketchy puppeteering by politically motivated dark money groups. In fact, the program actively selected an ideologically diverse group of fellows to avoid having a potentially polarizing political message at all. Its rationalist co-founders are libertarian capitalists who are generally against telling the government what to do unless it involves regulating AI development. This is political, but they don't make political arguments. There's no true enemy to point to.
They're so obscenely permissive of everything, right up until the point where all humanity dies in a science fiction catastrophe,
said CJ.
Image. 3 fellows pose in separate social media-style videos. 2 of them hold microphones. On-screen text on one video reads, "AI killing real art." Fellows pictured left to right, Wynne, Brenda, and Becca Lair.
Unfortunately, without a moral argument, something like billionaires are evil for the left, or AI weakens traditional family values for the right. CJ suspects a program like PDKU can only ever reach people who already agree with its founders. PDKU's organizers take pride in creating a safe container for fellows to experiment freely, and experiment they did. Yet, despite relinquishing control of nearly everything, the AI will kill us narrative reproduced itself anyway. Fernandez told me that he'd encourage anyone to make videos against taking X risk seriously, if it felt right. But of the hundreds of PDKU videos I watched last month, I never saw one. This narrative convergence was palpable at July's Stop the AI Race protest in San Francisco, where I spotted many PDKU-made posters.
"Even the CEOs will die,"
one said.
"We want our glorious transhumanist future back,"
said another. But most people's anger toward AI isn't about human extinction. Becca, the opera singer, told me that she senses an automatic ick when AI comes up with her AI disinterested friends.
And having attended the AI race protest, I felt the ick so much,
she said.
This makes us very dunkable.
What most people, likely including Becca's friends, actually resent is Silicon Valley overreaching into everyone's lives without consent. Because the extended rationalist universe is largely viewed as part of Silicon Valley, tapping into this resentment might mean letting people who don't care about X risk yet take the wheel, without Miri backseat driving. The advice CJ keeps giving them:
You need to be losing control of the narrative.
But, they added,
I'm not convinced that they're willing to let go of being right.
This has been an Ask Who Casts audio conversion. If you would like your own private feed of audio conversions of any blog posts you would like to listen to, you can sign up for Ask Who Casts Pro at app.askwhocasts.com, where you can give any post the multi-voiced podcast treatment into your own podcast feed. Thanks for listening.